What's going on, Combat Sports Nation? Dennis Sweetbread, Paiva here at CES Somerville, getting ready for training. Come on in. Originally from Rhode Island, I was there until I was 8, until my parents parted ways, and then my mom moved to New Bedford, Mass. And I lived in New Bedford, Mass from the age of 8 till 17. My senior year of high school, in March of my senior year of high school, I moved back down to Rhode Island and just kind of commuted back and forth to finish off the last couple months of my senior year of high school, and I've been in Rhode Island since. So yeah, I mean, technically Rhode Island born, partially raised. Like I said, I spent a good 9-10 years in New Bedford, Mass, and now I've been in Rhode Island since, so spend more time in Rhode Island than Mass.
Where did you come from? I haven't seen this one in years.
I did a couple kickboxing bouts in Florida under the K1 kickboxing rules. Went 2-0. I made friends with the guy that was running an organization out there and had a clothing line called Pure Pain Fight Gear. And I actually went out there just to be a spectator originally. But I told the guy I had a lot of interest in MMA and a lot of interest in combat sports. I had some boxing experience, some wrestling experience. And they flew me out there, and on 2 days' notice, I took a fight and won. It was actually Keith Allen that gave me the opportunity to train under him, and he's a JKD practitioner, pretty well-rounded, knowledgeable guy, and he's been involved in martial arts his entire life, and he's just an open encyclopedia when it comes to martial arts, and he's practiced everything from Wing Chun to Western boxing to Kali stick fighting, and just the guy knows his stuff. So he gave me the opportunity. I trained with him for a long time.
The blue corner to my right, weighing in at 147 pounds, and hailing from the town of Riverside, Rhode Island. He's representing Team Allen, JKD. Please welcome Dinis, Paiva.
When I got more competitive in the sport of MMA, I kind of went the route of surrounding myself with MMA-based coaches that were involved in the sport heavily. It's different, you know, mixed martial arts is martial arts, but it's not martial arts when it comes to the sport factor of it, you know. Before I went back down to Florida to compete in another kickboxing bout that I had won, this time I went out there a week in advance and trained for an entire week, which looking back now in hindsight isn't a whole lot of time to prepare for a fight, but that's kind of how life is at times. Sometimes you got to take what you got. So I went out there, competed, won, came back, and I want to say about 2 to 3 weeks later, I was in the cage for my first MMA bout, and I lost. I lost to a guy that fought out of Sit-Your-Tong named Eddie Lee, and that was it. I was hooked. I remember drinking excessively that night, vomiting the entire ride home, crying obliviously. Woke up first thing in the morning the next day, ran to Keith's house, and I was just smashing the bag, pouring the alcohol out of my body, fighting the hangover. And it was then that I knew that I was kind of meant for this. It filled the void in my life that I had at the time. I've always been a combat sports athlete since the age of 12. I boxed in middle school, wrestled throughout high school, and then got into the kickboxing MMA afterwards. So I've always had a passion for combative sports. So it seemed like it was just meant to be. He has a solid game plan, and he follows it, and he executes. He executes. You know, he's good at what he does. Keeps it simple, stays basic. You know what he's gonna do, but have fun trying to stop him. He's a guy who's fought a lot of who's who's. He's a guy that's never been knocked out, and he's fought some of the highest level competition in the country. He's fought in Russia. He's beat undefeated guys. He's King of the Cage champ. He's as legit as they come. Yeah. But I'm used to fighting those type of guys, man. If you look at my resume in my last 10 fights, I've fought the best guys I could fight. You know, I'm not picking and choosing tuna cans and taxi drivers. You know, that's what got me to where I'm at now. I was beating some of the elite guys, so you know I know he's a determined person. He's confident that by beating me and becoming the next CES champ, that he'd be the guy to get called up to the UFC next. And I wouldn't disagree with him, but he's definitely got a challenge set out in front of him come November 2nd. he's a very well-rounded guy, and he's a good grappler, a good wrestler. And what he does is he out-grapples grapplers, and he pounds their face in, and he does it well. So, I know that's what he's coming to bring. I doubt he's going to want to stand and strike with me, and if he does, it's not going to be for long. I have a tendency to hit people pretty hard. So, I expect that out of him. I expect him to bang a little bit, enough to get me to kind of stop throwing heavy punches. Then he'll be in on the legs and press me into the cage. But he's really good at it. Really good at it. So, it's kind of like the Khabib thing, where everybody knows what he's going to do, but just try to stop him because he's that good at it. So, we're going to see. People forget that I was a wrestler and I was a state champion. And I was a takedown-based wrestler, so it was defending the takedown, taking down my opponents. That was the style I played. So keep that wild card in my back pocket and pull it out come fight night. How often do you see where you get two wrestlers in a cage and nobody goes for the takedown? It becomes a brawl, Or sometimes you get two high-level strikers that don't want to sit there and bang one another and it turns into a wrestling match. That's the beauty of the sport, and I think that's going to be the beauty of it come fight night on November. This is my 21st fight under the CES lights, and CES has been a huge part of my life. They gave me a platform. They gave me an opportunity to live out a dream. Now fighting live on Access TV nationally. They really make you feel like the real professional. And they've been so good to me throughout the years. And I look at them as family and friends, and I wouldn't be who I am without them. I know that much. It's a blessing, man. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that they put faith in me to challenge for that title again. And they obviously want to see a guy they've built from the ground up be a champion for them, and I feel like I'll always be a champion for them, whether I win or not.
Follow us on Instagram, watch us on YouTube, check us out on Facebook, visit us on Twitter, and stay tuned.